Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Harry's Music Room. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. This is going to be a response to Rob Walker's vinyl tag for 2024. I've been accused by Rob of not being a member of the VC. Look at this, I got a jazz. How can I not be a member of the VC? Anyways, I'm going to join in on this. So, uh, we're going to do 20 questions that Rob presented to us. And the first is my favorite purchase of 2023. That was pretty easy. That would be the Rolling Stones Hackney Diamonds. And I also bought the Seattle Mariners edition. This is just one of those records that the more I play it, the more I like it. It's really good. And, you know, people say, oh, it's really good for somebody in their 80s. No, it's really good for anybody. I'd like to see any band do something that good right now. My last purchase of 2023, Rhino and what is it? Universal Distributing or somebody. They all did these 12 Days of Christmas, and they had specials. So this was the last thing that I bought. I ordered the box set of Mothership. Really nice package. So that was my last purchase of 2023. Next, pick an artist who released 2 albums in any year. I'm going to pick an artist that released 2 albums in the same day. One of those artists that did that was Guns N' Roses. But the other one was Bruce Springsteen. And he released Human Touch and Lucky Town on the same day. A lot of people say this would have made a really good single album. But yeah, there's hits and misses on both of these records. And as a Springsteen fan, I don't find any fault with it. I enjoy both albums. Some really good stuff on here. Nice thing about this reissue is they put it on 2 albums instead of 1, which really improved the sound on it. And that would have been, what year was that when they did that? 1992. And then the next question, music from one decade. Wow. Well, what else could it be than the 1960s? I mean, I grew up with the Animals, the Beach Boys, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Jefferson Airplane, Mamas and Papas, the Monkees. I mean, the list goes on and on. The Doors, the Motown sound. There's just so many bands that came out of the 1960s. It was truly a renaissance. And I doubt that we'll ever see anything like that again with the quantity and the quality of the bands that came out at that time. Hang on a second. My dog wants to get in the room. Okay, she's in the room. She likes to get in there. Say hello. Well, she's gone already. So the next question. Show Manchester albums. Bands from Manchester. Well, I'm a different generation than a lot of you people. So you may not have chosen the ones that I chose. I have a lot of other bands, but this is just, I'm just going to go through them quickly. Freddie and the Dreamers, not my favorite band by any means. But I did find this album in open shrink wrap, and so I went ahead and picked it up because it was pretty cheap. And then we have Georgie Fame, who I really enjoy Georgie Fame's music. It's just some of the stuff that he did with Van Morrison I really like as well. But he's from Manchester. And then we had Godley and Cream are from Manchester, and you may know them as 10cc. This has got Wall Street Shuffle, Rubber Bullets, Worst Band in the World, Silly Love, They wrote a lot of stuff. They wrote some stuff for the Yardbirds. Golly and Cream, very underrated writing duo. Peter Noon was from Manchester. Their first album, I'm Into Something Good, written by Carole King. And another one from Manchester, Davy Jones. It was this David Jones that caused the other David Jones to change his name to David Bowie. And Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders, another band from Manchester. And then, of course, we have Graham Nash. Over the years, this is demos. This is a really good album. If you're a Graham Nash fan, I really recommend you pick this up. And then, let's see, what's the next question? Which artist did you listen to the most in 2023? What do you think? I listen to the Beatles every day, one way or another. It's either on Sirius XM if I'm in the car, or I may be here and I just want to throw something on. But it's definitely the Beatles for me. They're my band. I mean, they got me in. They're the reason that I'm into music at all. Okay, so if it wasn't for the Beatles, I know a lot of these bands we're talking about wouldn't be around if it hadn't been for the Beatles. Shows 7-inch records. Well, I like autographs, so I decided to show records that I had autographs on. Some of these I got in person, some of these I bought, some of these I traded for, but this is a Chet Atkins signed single, and this is I believe this is a promo. And then this is one I bought at a Seattle record show, The Church, and looks like they signed, the entire band signed it to Stanley, somebody named Stanley. This is one I requested through the mail. I sent it to Elton John's address in Georgia on Peach Drive, I think he lives in Georgia. This is another one I wrote to her and requested an autograph. She signed one album and one single for me, and they said they only signed one album, but she was nice enough to sign the single as well. This is, I believe it was sold this way. This is John Entwistle, signed by John, and I believe you could go into the stores and buy this. You can see right here, it's signed. And then this is one I picked up from a collection from Gary Crow and Mike West, who were DJs in Seattle. And this is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, signed by Joe Walsh. And this is a white label promo. And then the last one here, I don't have the picture sleeve for it. I know I have it somewhere, I just couldn't find it at the moment. And it should have been with this record. But this is, and I don't even know where I got this. Maybe Rob knows. But London Beat, signed by everybody apparently. So those are my 7-inch records. And then the next one, we are on number 8. 4 people I would invite to a dinner party. Well, who else? John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Is there any doubt? The next one, someone we lost in 2023. One of my favorite artists of all time, right there, David Crosby. I've been a huge fan of David's for many, many years. I love his vocals. I love his songwriting. I was very lucky to meet David on a couple of different occasions. He signed some records for me, which he doesn't like to sign, but he was nice enough to sign some for me. I saw him with Crosby, Stills and Nash. I saw him with Neil Young. I saw him with CPR, which is Crosby, Pivar, and Raymond. Raymond being David's son. I saw several of those shows. He actually allowed me to record. I told him I had a portable DAT recorder, and he said, "I'm okay with you recording the show, but I don't know about the venue, so keep your DAT in the hat," was his exact quote. Next question, let's see. Music from just one country. It's got to be England. I mean, look at the bands that came out of there. I mean, oh my God. The British invasion, it just, I grew up with it. It was incredible time. It was next to probably the San Francisco scene, the West Coast scene. The British invasion was just mind-blowing. VC channels that I found. It's not necessarily that I found them this year or in 2023, but some of my favorite channels that maybe don't get a lot of mention. There's Matt at Pop Go the 60s. I really enjoy his videos. He goes deep on a lot of bands. And some of them he goes so deep that there's 2 and 3 parts to the videos. So check out Pop Goes 60s. Rich, VU Meters. He's started doing videos, so keep it up, Rich. I'm looking forward to seeing more as time goes on this year. Another new one, Robert Hart, Dr. Robert. He's been really busy. His channel's growing like crazy. And then, of course, one of my favorites that really nobody talks about is Don at That Old Goat. If you're not familiar with That Old Goat, I recommend you go watch him. He's quite a collector of a lot of stuff, not just records, but he has really interesting videos, and the editing that he does is amazing. It's a little trains and things that'll run across it, or things that'll pop up, and it really, I wish I could do that kind of stuff. I really do. But yeah, check out That Old Goat. An LP I bought as a teenager. I'm a huge Monkees fan. I watched the TV show religiously. I bought everything that came out. I still buy everything that comes out. I have the mono, I have the stereo pressings, I have reissues. I'm a huge Monkees fan. There's just no other way to put it. So that was a record I bought as a teenager. Show a soul or funk album. This is number 13. This has got to be one of my all-time favorite, just not a soul album, but records in general. I absolutely love this album. And it was just a couple of years ago I finally saw the film. This is a soundtrack to a film called That's the Way of the World with Harvey Keitel and the band. What a killer album. I mean, everything they did was good, but this album really stands out. I can't recommend this enough. If you don't have it, and this Impex pressing is superb. So if you're looking for it, I think it's still available. I think Impex still has this in stock. It was out for a while, but I think it's back in stock. And then another one I would give a mention to that I really liked was Isley Brothers' Fight the Power. That was a great album as well. An LP everyone has, and a record probably nobody has. I don't know. I think most everybody in the VC has this album, don't they? I don't know how many different copies of this I've got, but yeah. I mean, do I have to say anything more about it? Excuse me. An album that probably nobody has in the VC, and that's by my good buddy Hamill on Trial. This is his album called Choochtown. And if any of you follow me on Discogs, my username on Discogs is Choochtown. So just look for Choochtown and you'll see my record collection. Ed does all his own artwork. Almost all of his albums have artwork by him. My favorite songs on here are When Bobby Comes Down, I'm Gonna Watch You Sleep. When Ed comes to town, he usually stays here with me, and then I drive him around to the various gigs he's doing in the Northwest. And at one of the shows, he said, "What do you guys want to hear?" And nobody said anything, and I was in the crowd, and I yelled out, "I'm going to watch you sleep." He said, "Oh, that's a good one." I said, "No, it's not a request." But this is a great album. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it, especially the song Bill Hicks. He was a big fan of Bill Hicks. And Choochtown is good. I mean, the song Choochtown. And then the next one is an LP by a female artist. First record I ever bought that was by a female artist was Tapestry, but by Carole King. But I'm not going to show that. I'm going to show this record by Carolyn Wonderland that I saw at Saxon Pub in Austin, Texas. And I bought this after the show. Carolyn was in John Mayall's band for 4 or 5 years. This album is produced by Dave Alvin, and Dave plays on maybe 1 or 2 of the cuts. It's on colored vinyl. Definitely a blues guitarist. She's so good, so talented. She and her husband were married. The person that officiated their wedding was Michael Nesmith of the Monkees. So that's my record by a female artist. Let's see. The favorite video that I made of myself and the favorite video that I have seen. The favorite one that I made was what is a Butcher cover anyways? Because, we assume people know. But I thought, well, nobody really knows. I mean, there might be people out there that have heard of it, but they have no idea what it is. So I did a video explaining how it came about and how many were made and things like that. Go check it out. I'll put a link below. And then my favorite video, it wasn't necessarily from last year, but my favorite video is Robert Fithin's Whipped Cream Lady. If you haven't seen it, go to Robert Fithin's channel and just type in Whipped Cream. You've got to see it. Show a 1990 classic album. Garth Brooks. You've got the Thunder Rolls, Two of a Kind working on a Full House, Friends in Low Places. Same Old Story. He does a great cover of Mr. Blue. I'm a big fan of Garth Brooks. I've seen him in concert. He puts on a fantastic live show. So I would call this a classic album, released in 1990. And then we've got an LP cover that you would like to be in. Well, how cool would it be if I could be in here somewhere? Just put my face in there somewhere, right in there, by Tony Curtis or something. And then we've got number 19, an LP that is not a greatest hits, but could be. And I didn't have to think about it. I think this is about one of the most perfect albums, especially a debut album ever made. This could have been a greatest. Every song on here is absolutely fantastic. So the debut album by the Cars. And then we've got the last one, an album that turns 50 in 2024, and I'm going to go with Desolation Boulevard by Sweet. I love this album. There's not a bad song on it. I don't know. I'd like to see a really high-end audiophile pressing of this thing. This is a great album. You got Ballroom Blitz, 16s, AC/DC, I Want to Be Committed, Sweet F.A., Fox on the Run. There's not a bad song on here. Solid Gold Brass. Yeah, 50 years old. Unfortunately, we have lost all of the members of Sweet. But what a great band. If you don't have this record, go out and buy it. So that's my answer to Rob Walker's Vinyl Tag 2024. Am I allowed to be a member of the VC now, Rob? I hope so. Anyways, it's been fun. It's fun. It's all done in fun. Nothing personal. Just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for watching last year. Hopefully we'll have another year of a lot of fun here, and everybody getting along and just sharing their passion for the music. It's something that I used to get all the time when I had my record store. You know, people would come in the store and we talk music, and a lot of those people are good, close friends to me to this day, almost 30 years later. But so that's why I enjoy the VC. It's the connection, it's sharing the passion for the music and the love for the music, finding new music that you may not have heard about, and showing other people the music that they may not have heard about. So, anyways, until the next video, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and ciao.